Ever wondered what it's like to be an MBA student at Oxford? Hi, I'm Caitlin Anderson, an admissions consultant and Oxford MBA. Today, I'm taking you inside a typical day in my life as a student at the Saïd Business School, from classes to college dinners and everything in between. Most mornings started around 7 a.m. I would wake up, grab a quick breakfast, get dressed, check my schedule, and then walk over to class. Now, I lived in an old carriage house on Mansfield Road with 5 other flatmates, and one of my flatmates was also an MBA. She happened to be in the same section as me for the first term, Michaelmas, so we would normally walk to class together, and it would take us about 20 minutes to get to the Saïd Business School. I remember walking in the England mist during the coldest months of the year. It was that kind of cold that would just get into your bones and just feel like you could never get warm enough. I learned to sacrifice a bit of fashion for comfort, and I invested in these knee-high black leather boots that were waterproof and kept me dry and warm. I wore those all the time. However, I learned pretty quickly that the stone on Oxford streets wasn't super friendly to my feet, so I had to invest in some inserts. What I loved was getting to walk through some of the most beautiful parts of Oxford every morning. I passed by Harris Manchester College, the Sheldonian Theatre, Trinity College, and Cornmarket Street. And wow, on sunny days, it was spectacular. Classes normally began around 9 a.m. The pace was intense. We had case studies, team projects, and guest lectures from industry leaders. We studied everything from analytics, finance, tech and operations, and strategy to business in Africa, business in China, business history, and entrepreneurial finance. Participation was expected, and group work was constant. It was energizing and demanding in the best way. I remember in our leadership fundamentals class, we were put into groups, blindfolded, and told that we needed to reach a specific room on the other side of the business school and build a tent, still blindfolded. We were joking and laughing the entire way, but it helped me learn what it means to trust and collaborate with people that you may not know very well. After morning classes, I would grab lunch with some of my classmates at Nando's or within the covered market. Sometimes I would get to visit a historic college nearby. Being in Oxford meant that you were surrounded by inspiration at all times, both academic and otherwise. Then, after lunch, we would dive into our afternoon classes. Evenings were full of possibilities. Some nights I would attend a formal college dinner, either at my college, Merton College, or one of my classmates' colleges, where there would be candlelight, Latin prayers, and the full Oxford tradition. Other nights I would go to a ball. For example, during the Michaelmas term, I attended the Rag Ball, and I also went to a masked ball at the Ashmolean Museum. The backdrops were a dream. Other nights, I went to ballroom dance practice. I joined the Oxford University Dance Sport Club and was a part of their main team or their varsity team. And we would practice at Ifley Gym or in a centuries-old church. And honestly, dancing in those old spaces was magical. It gave me a break from the academic pressure and let me connect with students from all across the university. I also attended networking events, speaker panels, or just grabbed drinks with friends at the pub. Even casual conversations at Oxford had depth. People came from everywhere around the world, and they brought their worldview with them. Something I really valued was how close other countries were to me. Since I'm American and the United States is such a massive country, it normally takes a lot longer to get to different countries. So you really have to have the time for it and be willing to commit to it. In the United Kingdom, you're about a 2-hour, 60-pound flight from several countries. So on long weekends and breaks, I would travel to several different countries on a Ryanair or EasyJet flight. I went to Turkey, Greece, Slovenia, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Austria, Germany, France, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. I will never forget those trips with my MBA classmates because it really helped us to bond while we were broadening our perspectives. During the final term of the MBA, you can pick electives, a consulting project, an internship, or some combination of those. I chose to do a fellowship in South Africa, and that was a truly transformational time of my life. I participated in a full immersion program where I completed an internship for 2.5 months with a social venture capital firm, and I participated in events and activities that taught me all about South Africa and its incredibly rich culture and history. For example, I attended networking events, a panel discussion on race, politics, and economics, and visited several museums, including the Apartheid Museum, as well as historically significant sites like Constitution Hill, where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned. I read Nelson Mandela's autobiography cover to cover, Long Walk to Freedom. I was completely captivated by this country and all that it had been through. Additionally, we had the opportunity to participate in a safari through Kruger National Park. We got to go on a wine tour through the Stellenbosch region outside of Cape Town. And one of my absolute favorite moments was Boulders Beach, where we got to see wild South African penguins. Additionally, we traveled to Zimbabwe, where we went to Victoria Falls and took a night tour where we got to see a lunar rainbow. It was just unbelievable natural beauty. So this is just a glimpse into a day in the life of an Oxford MBA student. It was rigorous, inspiring, and full of once-in-a-lifetime moments. If you're thinking about applying to Oxford or another top business school, I hope this gave you a better sense for what it's like to be an MBA student. If you found this video helpful, then please like and subscribe, and you can check out the free resources that I've linked to below in my description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.